Hi everybody, Christine Furtado here. Come on. And good morning and welcome to 6 a.m. Cup of Joy with Christine. We have these weekly shows every Monday and Thursday morning, 6 a.m. because leaders get up early. So I hope you had a wonderful weekend and ready to conquer your day. And I love having these. So on these 6 a.m. Cup of Joy with Christine, we cover the wealth and the health of the business owner. There's not a lot out there that's for the business owner, so that's why I love doing these. So hope you will start to join me every week, Mondays and Wednesdays. So if you're new to me, my name is Christine Furtado. I'm a professional accountant and a financial coach, and I help business owners to create massive success and profitability in their business, and I do this through consulting and coaching. So I do both the offline and the online piece as well. So really loving that and loving these 6 a.m. videos. And you can join me here on Facebook, but you can also join me on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel where I'm actually saving all of these as well. Sometimes they kind of get lost in Facebook eventually, so it's just nice to have that. So if you're finding you're not being able to watch these, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will post a link in the description above or below here, and so you can join me there as well. So today I want to talk about the top 5 mistakes that business owners make, particularly in their financials or recording of their financials. This is so important, and I'm super passionate. I'm on a mission to help 1 million business owners to really understand their numbers and avoid those sleepless nights and avoid those unwanted surprises at the end of the year, which is when most people actually end up doing their financials. So the top 5, there's so many, but today I want to cover the top 5 that I definitely see. And one of the number one things is people think they know their numbers, but they really don't. And basically, if you're not tracking and recording it on a everyday regular basis, then you don't know your numbers. And oftentimes, when business owners think they're flying by the seat of their pants, they think they're making this much revenue, they think they don't really spend a lot of money, but when you actually put it down on paper, they'd be like, oh yeah, I guess I do. So that's the number one thing, is really not knowing their financials and your numbers. So if that's one of you, it's nice. Today's the day to start. My camera is really super shaky today. So today is the day to actually start by doing that. So that's the number one thing. The second thing is, they have that vision or thought that someone else will take care of that, or perhaps they do have, perhaps you have a bookkeeper and you just think they're doing everything correctly, but if you don't know your numbers, then you might be in the being taken, and you would have no idea because you're relying on somebody else. There's nothing wrong with relying on them to record the numbers, but you need to understand and know your numbers so that if something goes awry or something doesn't look right, you'll be able to pick up on that. So really important. And basically, if you're not able to rhyme off your sales, what are your daily revenues, what is your ROI, what is the number of spending, what's your contribution margin, like if you're not able to rhyme off those numbers, then you don't know your numbers. And it's one thing I love about what I do is, yes, I am a professional accountant, but I'm actually teaching people to understand their numbers. A lot of times, you will take your my camera's having its moments today. So a lot of times what'll happen is your accountant's going to take your business and do things, and I'm not saying that this is just not their forte, right? They're not here to teach you, they're here to do it for you. But I'm here to tell you and teach you how to do that so that you can avoid less costs at the end of the year. The other thing is, if you are just handing over, all your financials to someone, it's going to cost you a lot more money to do that than if you just say, here are my numbers, everything's done, just give it a final audit type thing. You're going to spend a hell of a lot less. So it's, better for you to know your numbers. So that's number 2 is, you know, someone else taking care of everything. You need to know your numbers as well. The third thing is, you know, giving, I kind of mentioned this already, but giving a box at the end of the year to your accountant and say, here's my financials. So first of all, your accounting and your financials is your responsibility as a business owners. It's not up to an accountant to, I mean, they can give you the results, but it's still your responsibility to know your numbers. So giving your stuff at the end of the year is not good enough, because what happens is you're just getting like a snapshot at the end of the year. What are you going to do 12 months out of the year? You still need to know what your sales are on a regular basis. And my opinion is, on a very, very minimum, you need to be recording this and knowing your numbers on a weekly basis. So you should be able to run a financial statements on a weekly basis. And once you start to scale, you know, once you're starting to go beyond that 6-figure revenue, you need to be recording that sale on a daily basis to see where you're at. So really, really super important, and I can't stress this enough. And the more that you know your numbers, the less sleepless nights you're going to have, and the less surprises you're going to have at the end of the year, because you're going to have everything, you know, done copacetic. So what you can do, yes, it's good to have a bookkeeper that's, you know, tracking this on a regular basis and providing that information to you on a weekly basis. And I do have another video that I put out about the top 5 numbers in your financials that you need to know, which is also super important. But you can have a bookkeeper that will record all this for you, but then you can lay out what it is that you want them to be providing you on a weekly basis, and you need to go through those numbers. So really, really, really key. I can't stress it enough. And the fourth thing is, you know, a lot of times the business owners may know their revenue and they think this is great, you know, I'm making all this money. But again, as I mentioned in another video where the top 5 things that you need to know, revenue is great. Revenue definitely is the lifeblood of your and the, you know, the blood of your company, but you also need to know, are you making profits? Because if you're making $1 million, spending $1 million, there's 0 profits. So you're no further ahead than someone making $1,000 a month and, you know, clearing, only having a spending of $500 a month. They're actually better ahead of you. So revenue is definitely key, but you need to know more than just your revenue. You need to know your profits. You need to know how much you're actually spending, and where can you be cutting costs? Where are you not lean enough? So really, really super important. So the number 5 thing is business owners not having a roadmap. So I call it a roadmap. You know, some people call it spending budgets. Some people, you know, call it a spending plan as well. So they all mean the same thing. Basically, you know, you would never take a trip without a roadmap. So really, really important. So you need to have a plan of where you want to be at the end of the year, and work that backwards into what does that look like monthly, and then what does that look like weekly, and what do you need to be doing daily to get there. So for example, if you wanted to make, you know, 6 figures in revenue and you're at 0 right now, you know, obviously you need to get quite a number of clients. And what does that look like, obviously, on a monthly basis in terms of dollars? And what does that mean? You know, how many clients do you need to be getting weekly and then daily? Excuse me. You know, and what types of clients, you know, like are they private clients or higher paying client? Not necessarily private, but higher paying clients, depending on your business and your services. And, you know, how many phone calls do you need to make to even generate? Because it is a numbers game. So for example, you may need to make, you know, 10 phone calls to get 1 client. So that means you know, depending on the number of clients, you're going to have to be making those phone calls every single day, every single week to generate those clients. So that's what I mean. If you have an end in mind, you can work yourself backwards, month by month, by week, and then by day. Really, really key and really super important. So those are the top 5. So let me just repeat that. So the first thing is thinking that you know your numbers, but you don't. The second thing is thinking someone else is going to take care of it. It is your responsibility, and you need to step up to the plate. You need to be telling them what it is that you need as well. Number 3 is just giving your financials at the end of the year in a box to an accountant. That's not good enough you need to be doing that at a minimum on a weekly basis, but I want you to be moving to a daily basis to really, really just know your numbers. The fourth thing is thinking you're doing really great in revenue and that's good enough, and it's not. You need to take it further and know all your numbers. And you know, we talked about the top 5 in another video. So really, really key and really important. And then the fifth thing is making sure you have a budget plan and a roadmap as to where it is that you want to go. You can't get there if you don't know where you're going. So really, really super key. Those are the top 5 mistakes that I see accountants making, not accountants, business owners making. So really, really super important. You really need to know your financials. I can't stress that enough. A couple of other tips is making sure that you have a bank account slated just for your business. Don't mix it with your personal things. And making sure that all transactions within your bank account are being recorded, because that's the number one thing that an accountant's going to look for. And one of the really top reasons to know your financials, why I'm really, really super passionate about this, is one of the things is having those unwanted surprises at the end of the year. So this is what we're trying to avoid. You know, imagine having, unfortunately, to experience a tax audit and having to provide all these numbers. They are not going to take this very lightly. So you really, really need to, you know, start stepping up to the plate and owning this. So really key. So hopefully you found some value in this. Give me some thumbs ups and some likes, and please share this with your family and friends and colleagues and maybe other business owners that you know that would benefit from this. Let's collaborate and make a huge impact in the world. And I would love to hear from you in the comments below, where you're from and what is your greatest challenge in your business, particularly on the financials. You know, what is it that you struggle? Why is it that you put it off? Maybe I would love to be able to hear from you so that I can share more information that will definitely greatly benefit you. So again, please share this off with people, and let's make a big impact in the world, and leave a comment below and like this video. And if you're on Facebook and you haven't yet, liked my business page to get more notifications on these videos. Like I said, we do these weekly, but I also do a lot of postings daily, and then I also provide a ton of free content. If you're not on there yet, please also subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, guys, that's it for today. Have an amazing Monday, and I'll catch you on Thursday on another 6 a.m. live. Bye for now.